Hello everybody, welcome back to This Week in Esports and Gaming for the 4th week of April 2022. I'm your host Mark Kai. We got a lot of interesting stuff, so let's get right into it. For our first top 3 story, GOG are going to offer employees menstrual leave. So this is a very interesting story here. GOG estimates an additional 1 day off per quarter will take place, but they're allowing employees to take off as much time as they need whenever period pains occur, according to their comms manager. They also mentioned that employees can choose to take off specific hours instead of a whole day, which also is a good option for them. They also mentioned it's experimental, and they're looking to see how this will impact employees and their well-being overall throughout the year. That being said, there were some people who were actually against this online once they announced this, saying that it can make people who take time off for period pains look less capable because they're taking time off for a biological part of their body. So I'm a man, and as such, I know this issue does not affect me. So what I did was I asked a few fellow women, perhaps maybe they weren't working in the gaming space, but regardless, what their opinions are on this kind of topic and this policy, and it provided me a lot of valuable feedback. I think a lot of them are very supportive of this, and they like that this was a policy, but they wanted to consider a couple things. One, would employees abuse it? I don't think that was a really big thing among them, but that was just a question that maybe they asked. What percentage of women actually do get their periods with birth control being so common now? That was another question that they were curious about. I'm not sure that percentage either. Could the name be expanded to cover more types of things than just menstrual pain, things such as miscarriage time off, other things like that that women experience that aren't just period pain? So I thought that was also an interesting point. Maybe what about the things for trans people who maybe have experienced that change in gender, right? So I'm not 100% sure about that. And then also how this affect PTO and work time and sick time. Would it cut into those, or would this be a separate kind of allocation of budget of time off for them? Lots of questions overall, great questions that were asked. I think I don't know the answers to these questions because I'm not the one who implemented this policy, but I think that most women really like this initiative. They just think that the name maybe could be changed and the logistics could be ironed out a little bit, but I think GOG doing a really good pioneering of this policy, and I think even their parent company is looking to potentially implement this in the future as well. Epic Games introduced a new Battle Royale mode to Rocket League. This one's called Knockout Bash and will feature 8 players in a free-for-all with the last car standing in a demolition game mode where players will get 3 knockouts before they're out of their arena. This is a classic game mode nowadays, but with a Rocket League spin on it, and many are very happy about this game mode. I look at the actual official trailer on YouTube. There are 7.2 thousand likes and 106 dislikes, which is a very good for a new game mode announcement. I think a lot of people don't realize that that's how people kind of view things, is they like it or they dislike it, and they comment things down below. So people are overall pretty happy with it. I think this is a pretty smart approach in regards to getting players who typically wouldn't play Rocket League and perhaps trying out the new game mode. It's kind of similar how Epic did this as well earlier with Fortnite. They had that no build game mode, which brought back a lot of players, a lot of different players as well, who maybe didn't touch Fortnite because that was a restrictive element that was maybe too hard to the game. This is a new kind of twist on Rocket League, and they're kind of implementing the Fortnite aspect of Fortnite into Rocket League. So obviously this only actually lasts until May 10th, but Epic is, I think, really looking at this as a test trial to see if this increases player retention, player count, maybe in-game purchases, hours played, things like that, typical game success metrics. And then if it does, they'll probably keep it in the future because it'll pay off for itself. If it doesn't, they'll reevaluate and see how maybe they can change it or if they should scrap it entirely. Cloud9 have re-entered CSGO. This is more of a personal thing for me. I really like CSGO. I'm a fan of CSGO, so it's glad to see that the American org has opted to actually pick up the former 𝗠𝗿 Esports roster, which consists of 4 folks from Russia. Those are Nafani, Shiro, Inters, as well as Axile, and 1 from Kazakhstan, which is 𝗁𝗶. And so this is important for 2 reasons, right? The players, which is currently their name of their organization, before they got picked up by Cloud9, they were ranked 3rd best team in the world in CSGO, which is a huge plus for Cloud9 entering into a game scene that they've been known for a while to get a roster that's ranked so highly. And secondly, this is a pretty large Russian roster, which means that they've been hit by a lot of sanctions towards Russian teams and players in the esports space, given the Russian and Ukrainian war. So picking up a Russian team shows that with the backing of an American org, they can actually support these players and have the resources readily available for these players to compete in CSGO. So I think it's an interesting and a smart move on Cloud9's part to, one, could get that new demographic of fans becoming Cloud9 fans. I know that wasn't probably the biggest consideration for them, but it was still something that they did consider, I assume, when they did pick up this team. And secondly, Cloud9 are slated as legends in the CSGO major coming into this next couple of months with this acquisition, which will give their fan base, which includes me, a team to cheer for going to the major, even if it isn't American. So Cloud9 diversifying their fan base, picking up a team that is probably in need of support at this time as well. As far as partnerships go, Fury partnered with FTX. This will be a $3.2 million one-year deal that's aimed towards a longer-term relationship as well. The details haven't been ironed out, but this is a pretty large deal with the $210 million one from TSM and FTX also coming in earlier in the past. Quadrant partnered with the crypto exchange platform Gate.io. This will entail typical jersey sponsorship on Quadrant's Halo team, as well as Gate.io's product and support for Quadrant's Halo team. This will also be Gate.io's first time entering into the esports space. The Indian streaming platform Loco renewed their partnership with the NBA. They're going to continue broadcasting the 2K League as part of their multi-year partnership first established in 2020. This new season will feature a $2.5 million prize pool, which is a 65% increase from last season. Esports partners with Riot Games. They will become the official media partner for the Wild Rift Championship Series for Southeast Asia, and this will entail a Wild Rift Esports video series called WCSX1 Presents Rift Week, which is a 5-episode series about the Wild Rift Championship Series. For finance and M&A, Better Collective are going to acquire the FIFA platform FUTBIN for $113 million. This $113 million will come in the form of cash, Better Collective shares, and earnout payments, and Better Collective will consolidate the acquired assets into Better Collective group accounts as well. Gearbox have acquired Lost Boys Interactive. Lost Boys has already worked with Gearbox on last month's Borderlands spin-off Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and they will become the subsidiary of Gearbox Entertainment, operating independently while working on other Gearbox teams on the development of future games as well. Probably Monsters raised a $250 million Series A. They will use this funding towards its brands in support of building the company into a more stable home for developers. Currently, they have 3 studios that are focused on different types of games, which are multiplayer, RPG, as well as single player. Supposedly, this is the largest Series A in the video game industry, which is likely true because the average Series A raise in general is $15 million. As far as workforce changes go, Jen Wong joins Gaming Community Network as the VP of Strategy and Brand Activation. She will oversee the expansion of GCN services that will be available for brands, and she comes from Caesar Entertainment, where she coordinated partnerships with brands like LG as well as Panasonic. Lulu Cheng Maservi joins Activision Blizzard on the board. She is currently the VP of Comms at Substack and was previously the president at Trailrunner International, where she oversaw PR and comms for a variety of major brands. She holds a master's in law and diplomacy from Tufts University. Alyssa Jacobs joins Galaxy Racer as the Chief Strategy Officer. She will head up business development, talent relations, media, and content for the North American division of Galaxy Racer. She co-founded the Queen's Gaming Collective in the past and worked with Giorgio in cultural partnerships for 5 years in the past as well. Jeff Cohen joins Homa Games as the VP of Corporate Development. Jeff was previously the VP of Strategy for Esports Entertainment Group for around 2 years and will look to approach M&A aggressively with the new $50 million round that they raised into Homa Games. He has experience in the finance space and holds an MBA from Columbia University. Chris Vincelli joins Anzu as the VP of Business Development. He will work to secure strategic partnerships with publishers to serve in-game ads on the Anzu platform, and he was previously with Yahoo overseeing all partnerships with publishers in regards to user acquisition and monetization as well. Ali Miller has been promoted at Riot Games to head up global influencer marketing for the entire company. She has tons of experience in the gaming space, first with DDK and then with Nexon for a few years. She spearheaded influencer relations with Call of Duty at Activision Blizzard before moving over to Riot for the past 2 years to head over all influencer marketing at Riot. She was previously heading influencer relations on Valorant. Robert Rames was promoted at Enthusiast Gaming to the VP of Canada. He has lots of experience in sales and business development, working at various agencies such as Blue Ant Media and Obox in the past. He's been with Enthusiast for about 2 years prior to his promotion. Suchi Kolstresta has been promoted at Mobile Premier League to brand manager. Suchi spent the last 11 months with the MPL so far and worked within the sports space with the Rajasthan Royals as well as the United States Tennis Association in the past as well. Ryan Sims has been promoted at Corsair to the partnerships manager. He's been with Corsair for about 4 years, starting as an event partnership intern and moving his way up to where he is now. He holds an MBA from Salisbury University. John Reesberg has been promoted at EA to the VP of Global Comms for EA Sports and Racing. He has been with EA for nearly 11 years at this point, starting as the Senior Director for Corporate Communications. Before EA, he worked with EA on the agency side with Fleischmann Hillard for about 7 years, so he's lots of experience in PR and comms. As far as new stuff goes, Heroic acquired Blast Slot from Immortals. They will join the Blast Premier as a member team, as many other CSGO organizations acquired about the slot, but Heroic were the ones who are eventually able to pay for this one. Curious about the price because it wasn't revealed publicly. That's it for this week in esports and gaming. Thank you so much for tuning in. Credit to the publications and authors themselves for the images and information provided. If you know someone who find this valuable, please tag them down below as always, and have a great day, everybody.